Hello, Mr. Evans.
Hi, how are you?
Good. It's good to see you again. I'm
Yes,
glad you
ma'am.
came back to see me. So how have you been?
You know, same old, just trying to adjust more, I guess, to being so stressed out all the time.
Okay. Yeah. Have you, worked on some of those techniques we talked about last time?
Yeah, and I feel like if anything, it's caused me to be less stressed, but it's still,
That's good.
it's still just a lot.
Of course, of course. Well, we're gonna work on that some more today. So I kind of want to focus today on um, your social levels and exhaustion on the weekends.
Okay.
Um, that's when you don't feel up to much interaction, with your wife and your kids.
Mm-hmm.
So, you have symptoms like loss of motivation, fatigue, headaches, and those mostly occur on the weekends.
Mm-hmm.
So, you're basically trying to beg your wife, to get out of those social events with friends. And you talk about you also don't, feel like playing with your kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So when you think about not wanting to engage with your family or friends, what comes up for you? Like, what thoughts do you have about why that happens?
Well, just 'cause, like whenever I'm at work at the dealership, it's just constant, and even though it's supposed to be like a 9 to 5, sometimes I'll end up working later, and so it's the weekends are pretty much, since I don't have to work the weekends, they're pretty much just my days to relax, and being there with my family. It's, I wouldn't say it's overbearing, but it's just kind of a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And the weekends where I want to relax are the weekends, where everyone wants to go do things, and just I'm so exhausted I don't really want to associate myself with anything or anyone during the week, and I just kind of want to get my sleep in.
Right, I understand. Yeah, it sounds like you're really just worn out from your demands at work.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what do you think, might happen if you made some time to be with your family or even just do something small on the weekends? How would that feel for you?
I mean, just thinking about it right now, it just kind of sounds like a lot,
Yeah.
like just having to not only work on the weekdays, but have to think about what I'm going to do with them on the weekend. Like, it just kind of just thinking about it now just kind of stresses me out a little bit, I guess.
Okay, yeah, that's totally understandable to feel that way, especially when you're already feeling so drained. So that thought, if you do something on the weekend, you'll just get more tired.
Mm-hmm.
What evidence do you have for that thought? Do you think it's possible there are some activities that could give you energy or help you feel more connected to your family without overwhelming you?
I mean, there's like a little, like in our neighborhood, there's kind of a little park that all the kids hang out. So I guess maybe if I wanted, I can take maybe like an hour or so and just take them to the park, both of the kids, and maybe give my wife some time to relax, or she can come with, if she wants. But it still sounds a little exhausting, but I think I could possibly not tolerate, but I could possibly,
I know what you
be
mean.
able to not be stressed out and still, maintain that like playful relationship with my kids.
Yeah. That's a really important insight there, and it sounds like you're thinking of a small step to engage with your family that might not be overwhelming for you. So let's challenge the idea that it will always leave you more tired. Sometimes when we engage in something positive or rewarding, it can actually give you a boost of energy. Would you be willing to try something small like that, like a short activity with your kids next weekend, and see how you feel afterwards?
Yeah. I mean, I definitely think it could be doable. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great. So, yeah, I think that's a wonderful plan, something small to start out with like that. so it's not too overwhelming. Um, let's just keep checking in on how this feels for you. And of course, remember, it's okay to take things at your own pace. And you're already making great strides by noticing these patterns you have and thinking about those small changes you can employ. So next, what you think largely determines what you feel and do. Of course, when you do work 60 hours a week, I completely understand that you would feel tired and unsociable on those weekends. You've been working long hours and it's affecting your ability to connect with your family. So it's very important that we find a way to balance your work stress with your weekend rest and connection with loved ones. You know, you deserve a small break on those weekends, but you have to remember, you know, that your family just loves you and they care about you and they want to spend that time with you because you're working those long hours during the week. So, you know, some other things you could try. You can try, you know, reframing your thoughts. So, you know, you can try telling yourself, you know, you have been working really hard, but, you know, maybe I can start taking small steps to engage more with my family on the weekends. It could be something, you know, as small, you know, as taking them to the park like we talked about, or just like sitting together on the couch, you know, watching a show you all enjoy. Again, being with your family and spending quality time together is very important. And like we talked about, that can actually give you an energy boost, you know, spending time with your loved ones, doing something positive and rewarding. So instead of expressing to your wife, you know that you're tired and feeling unsociable from the work week, try telling her you just need a short break, but that you're willing to work to increase your energy and social levels for her and the kids.
Yeah,
So
I think you could do that.
Do that.
It sounds like something that would help at least.
Of course.
You know, get her to stop feeling so unwanted.
Yeah.
I guess.
Of course. So again, I just want to make sure you feel in control of this process. I'm just giving you some ideas, but it's totally up to you, you know, what you implement. And we're here to explore options that work best for you and make sure you feel comfortable. And again, it's okay to take things one step at a time. How do you feel, you know, about starting with those small changes, like finding one thing you could do differently this weekend to feel a bit more rested or engaged with your family?
I mean, yeah, like I said, I would definitely be open to trying something, like starting small and then eventually kind of expanding once I am able to balance these two different lives that I have. But I honestly didn't even think of using my time to relax with my kids. Honestly, like, thinking about it like that would also kind of help me, you know, kind of balance everything out. If I can relax but also relax with my kids by watching like TV or something, like you said.
Yeah, awesome. You see here. All right. Well, again, we'll work on that next time. Just, you know, maybe try journaling some stuff out for me and bring it to our next session. You know, see how you're doing with that progress.
Okay.
And yeah, it was really great to see you again.
Yes, ma'am. It was good to see you again as well. I look forward to the next time.
Of course. Me too. Thank you.